Yeah, absolutely. I wish it was that easy, right? But no, I mean, I appreciate that. It's a blessed position, but a tough position. Great kids, great competitors, great athletes, and we just got to come out and work and see who's going to be the most consistent throughout camp.
You just told us Ohio State's not going to make an announcement until the Buckeyes take the field against Virginia Tech, so I think people are waiting for a timetable, or when are you guys going to announce it? You guys aren't going to announce it.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on that. Yeah. I wouldn't count on that.
Tell me the strategy involved in that, just to keep, obviously, Virginia Tech on their toes a little bit. I know they came at Ohio State with a plan they weren't expecting last year. Is that the rationale behind that, is just to keep them guessing?
It could be. I think more or less it's given the guys the opportunity to really compete. We're going to need every day. I mean, we're going to need every day to go out there, and there's probably going to be a time through the course of the season we're going to need both of them. So to just settle on one and say, here's the keys, and the other guy just sits back and becomes a second-team guy, I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I think the best thing to do is let them keep competing. Competition's a beautiful thing. It really keeps them focused, it keeps them working hard, and the better guy at the end will come out being that guy. But certainly we're going to need the backup too.
Along those same lines, could there be a two-quarterback system? Is that even a possibility? Again, it's not your decision. I know. Your take on that, though?
I really don't have one.
Coach Meyer said in the past that he's going to make an analytical decision. What are the things that you're looking for to make that decision as to who's going to be the starter?
Well, I mean, you're taking into account everything that goes on through practice and leadership, and just who's moving the team, who's not moving the team, how are guys handling the football, and ball security, and making good decisions. All those things that can hurt a football team. Guys that don't do that. And guys make plays. Guys got to make plays too. We can't just have a robot back there. We've got to have a guy that's a good athlete that can do some things. So there's a lot that goes in it. There's a lot that's going to go into the decision, and all hands are on deck for it.
Tim, as you approach this, did you actually tell Cardale and JT like sort of what you expect of them? I mean, or in a nutshell, what did you tell them?
Yeah, we just talked to them and just told them that. Kind of what I just said. We're going to evaluate everything that they do, from coming out here, demeanor, to how they handle themselves, how they handle the offense, in terms of completion percentage. I mean, the typical statistical analysis and data that you're going to get to be able to, the hardcore facts, but even just the presence and leadership and the types of things. So all of it's going to be weighed into the decision, and they are very aware of it.
Tim, do you flip the coin beforehand?
We did. We flipped the coin before practice.
Who flipped it?
I flipped it.
Who won?
Cardale. He picked heads, and it was heads.
How long will you need to do something like that?
It was just this. It was just who was going to take the field the first time when the first offense came out. From here on out, we just switch them out throughout.
So does JT go tomorrow first?
Probably.
Is that how it works?
From what you've seen of these guys, could you almost do that, flip a coin to figure it out too? I mean, are these guys that close in your mind?
Yeah, I do. I think they've been very well coached. The system is in place. They follow it, and it's amazing to see it firsthand and be a part of it. And I think in the end it'll work itself out. I think through the 28, 29 practices that we're going to have going into the first game, they'll be a front runner.
Do you have a seat for Braxton in the quarterback room anymore?
There's always a seat for Braxton in the quarterback room.
Do you think he'll ever sit in it again?
Maybe. Who knows?
Is it odd to say that you now know in your head that he's a full-time wide receiver?
I wish I'd had the opportunity to coach him a little bit. He's an incredible athlete, a great young man too. I mean, that's the thing gets lost, and all the things he's done for the program here at Ohio State it's unbelievable. And to do what he's doing now, very unselfish move and helping. But it's a long season. Who knows? I mean, if you had sat here last year at this time and said Cardale Jones is going to come in and win the national title game, you probably would have never said that either. So who knows? It's a long, long season.
You're very much involved in the passing game, obviously. Do you see the potential there with Braxton? What do you see? What does he bring to the table if he really catches on, so to speak?
You mean a receiver?
Yeah, receiver.
Oh yeah, he's an incredible athlete. Got great speed. It's just very instinctive for him. So it's just getting comfortable, with just leveraging routes. It's different seeing coverages unfold from the quarterback position at an apex as opposed to being a guy who's actually in the coverage and seeing it unfold. So it's just going to take a little bit of time, but obviously there's lightning flashing, that's for sure.
you got to make the choice today who was going to take the first rep, or at least the coin did.
Yeah.
But Urban said in Chicago that it's not going to fall to you to make the decision.
Right.
Is that weird for you, just being the head of that position group, that it's not going to be your decision? Or?
Not at all. Not at all. He's been here. He knows the guys. Obviously, it's coach's program. And I think it'll be Coach Warner will be involved. I think, and again, I think through the process as we go through, everyone I think will have some input to some degree, because everyone's going to see practice. They're going to see it unfold. They're going to get a feel of all the intangibles. They're going to get a statistical analysis and data and all the types of things that we're going to do to sit down and evaluate these guys. So I think everyone will have some input to some degree, but obviously Coach will make the final decision. I'm great with that.
As you watched practice unfold today, did you see two guys letting it all hang out, so to speak? I mean, or did you see one guy tight and the other guy not?
No, they were very, I thought, focused, and they worked hard.
How many days of that statistical analysis does it take before you really take a hard look at it?
It's every day. So really every day I'll look at it.
With these guys coming in pretty even, like you say, could it be somewhat of a benefit? Maybe you have kind of a fresher set of eyes. The other people have been around them for so long; they're kind of used to seeing what each of them can do.
Yeah, maybe. I think there's obviously no predisposition with me. I'm not coming in with any previous knowledge of either one of the guys and how they handle a room and how they learn and how they transition it onto the field. So yeah, maybe it's a little bit of fresher breath, breath of fresh air.
What's standing out about the two true freshmen, Joe Burrow and Torrance Gibson? I know it's very early, of course, but what stands out about those two guys?
Work ethic. I think both those guys are really hungry guys. They want to do right. Very talented guys, both of them. I was pleased with them today, this morning.
Hey, Tim, you'll hear a lot of fans ask, like, well, is Torrance Gibson going to move to wide receiver? It seems like he's strictly a quarterback, though.
Absolutely.
And do you see him at some point? Well, you're not going to say that, but just, I mean, why do you think people even bring that up as far as him moving to wide receiver since he's strictly a quarterback?
I think people bring it up just because he's an incredible athlete. And anytime you have a guy that can run and jump like he does, there's always that assumption that can a guy move that kind of position, but there's no intention of that.
Tim, there's a lot of attention for the quarterback battle between JT and Cardale, obviously, but they're kind of battling behind the scenes a little bit, Joe and Torrance.
Sure.
Have you maybe shared a message with them like you did with the older ones about what they have to do? And I mean, do you kind of get a sense that even though they're close, that they understand what's at stake for their futures?
I think right now they're trying to figure out where they eat. to sit it down right now and talk to them a little bit about that. I think they know that a little bit because they're coming in both in the same class, but there's a lot going on in those guys' minds right now, believe me. So that conversation will come soon enough.
What's the most interesting or competitive quarterback battle that you've been involved with?
This will be it. There's no question.
Is there any previously that's close?
Not really. Not to this magnitude.
Is it unique because of the experience both of them bring to the table?
Yeah, and both of them have won. Both of them are very intelligent. Both of them understand the offense. And both of them are talented. So it's I could foresee just one day one guy having a good day, and next day another guy having, and that's why it's got to be 28 practices. It can't be a knee-jerk reaction to say this is the guy. It's got to be something that you take your time and evaluate and make the best decision, and also realizing that we're going to need that other guy.
Coach, thank you very much.